another one. I got a story to tell you. It's kind of crazy. This is the first time it's happened to me. It may have happened to you, but I have to tell you my story. Rodent damage to the engine. The rodents, the city rodents, they mad at me. Um, there's a beef going on that I didn't know I had, and the rodent took care of my car overnight. He took care of it. Okay, he went right up into the engine. He went right under the car, went up in the engine and took care of all the wires, man. My car can't even go over 10 miles per hour. I had to have the car towed to the Nissan dealership, and they laughed. They said it ain't nothing. Because I told them maybe it's the engine oil. They said no, it's not. They said we know exactly what it is. You got rodent damage. As soon as they took the cover off the engine, they called me and said, "Hey, you got a little bit of rodent damage," and that's what happened. The rodents took care of your car, man. How's everybody doing today? I got a story to tell. The city rodents, they beefing with me, and I don't know why. They got rodent damage to the car. I ain't never been through something like this in my life, but that's how it is in the city. It's a common thing. But apparently there's a rodent out here that's beefing with me, man. He took care of my car overnight and chewed the wiring harness off. It was the wiring harness that regulate the oil to the engine. He chewed right through that. Luckily, he didn't chew my brakes. You know what I'm saying? Because I told him to check. You check my brake line, and they checked it. They said no, he didn't chew that. Or they. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, I'm out. I'm without a car until next week. They need to change their vibration, man. They look. I know. I think I need to change my vibration. I don't know if it's me or them, but I got something for them though, because he told me what to go get at Home Depot. I said, "Oh, really? What do I need to get at Home Depot?" He said, "Yeah, it's a special spray. It won't hurt your engine. You spray your engine down. You spray your engine down with this like spray, and you spray your tires just in case they get mad with me. If they can't get to the engine, they're gonna try to chew my brake lines." So he said, "You want to spray your tires too, and spray in the back of your car, and that way the rodents won't get in your engine." I said, "Really?" He said, "Yeah, man." He said, "It's a thing in the city, bro." So what happened was, let me tell you guys what's interesting what I learned about the car. I've heard about this before, but I didn't realize the car's computer, they recognize what's going on, and the car goes into, we call it limp mode, LMP, LMP mode. That means the car will not go over 10 miles per hour. It's to save the engine and the transmission. And so when I took it to the dealership, I had to have it towed, right? The insurance, luckily you got insurance because insurance reimburse you for everything. They reimburse you for the towing. They asked me, do I want a rental car? I said nope. I don't even want no rental car. All right. Um, I don't want no rental right now. They said, yeah, we got a rental for you. You could go. We could set up a rental at the spot. Like, no, I'm good. So then the adjuster has to come out Monday to the dealership. It's a whole big process that I didn't even know. But when I went and filed a claim, they knew exactly what was going on. They said, "Oh, you got rodent damage. Okay, let me get you to our adjuster. To the claims department." They were laughing. They said, "Yeah, this we had 3 calls today." And the dealership, you know what the dealership told me? Um, about 40% of their cars in there now has rodent damage. I said, "Really?" He said, "Yeah." So the car goes into LMP mode. Anybody that's listening, your car does the same thing and you don't even know it. Your car goes into LMP mode and it don't go over 10 miles per hour, and it doesn't rev up, but the car moves. And it's a safety mechanism so that your engine will not be destroyed. It's like a dummy proof thing for your car. And the reason why it does that, so you can at least move the car to home. So at least you could drive the car home and you could drive the car to the dealership. That's why they have that. It's called limp mode. And everybody knows about it. Police know about it. They know, they say put your hazard lights on if you're in limp mode. And everybody will know. They say, or you can call the precinct to let them know where your car is, and they will like kind of follow you home. Like everybody knows about this rodent stuff. I didn't even know. So what happened was, right? I said, yeah, man, I'm about to go out. I had me a catering order to do. You know what I'm saying? I was like, yeah, I'm about to go make this money real quick, do the catering order. It was like 150. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, cool. You know what I'm saying? I got in the car. The car turned on as normal. But right when I put the car in drive and hit the gas, it wouldn't go over 10 miles per hour. I said, what the hell? So I went and parked it back up. And I opened it. I didn't notice it at first, but there were signs. I opened the hood and I noticed it was some debris in the hood. I'm like, where the hell did this stuff come from? I like maybe there was debris that maybe it was like because of the wind, the debris. I like, how did the debris get in my engine? They nested in my engine. It was a nest in my engine, but I took it out. So the damage was done already, but I didn't open the cap to the engine, the little cover. I didn't release the cover. Just look. But if I had done that, I would have noticed that the wires were chewed up. And so he said when I dropped the car off, I said, yeah, the car is in limp mode. And I said, maybe it's bad engine oil, you know what I'm saying? He said, oh, really? He was like laughing. I'm like, what is he laughing at? He said, you don't know what it is? I'm like, no. He said, all right, we'll tell you later, but we'll get to your car. He called me. He said, sir, we knew it. We knew you had rodent damage. I said, how? He said, because when we opened the car, we saw some debris in the car. We know you had rodent damage, but we have to figure out how bad it is. And so it was so bad that I had to file an insurance claim. That's how bad it was. I was like, bruh. I said, yo, I said, yeah, but when I started the car, I didn't smell any rodents. None of them came out the car. He said, no, they did it overnight and they left your car. They chewed it up, did what they had to do, and then left the car. That's it. You know what I'm saying? They left you. They did you dirty, and they went on about their business. And he said, let me tell you this right now. He said, if you don't get the spray that I tell you, you're gonna come back to us. He said, we had a customer. He said we fixed her rodent damage. And we told her to go get the spray from Home Depot. She's like, nah, I'm not going to do that. Just a once in a lifetime thing. Guess what? 2 days later, she had to have the car towed back for rodent damage. They got to her engine again. So you better believe I'm going to get that spray. He said, yeah, you can coat the engine. Just spray it. It ain't going to hurt your engine. You're not going to smell anything, but it keeps the rats away. And then spray your tires and put some Febreze in your car. And that's it. You won't have the rodent damage no more. The rodents got a hit on me, man. I got hit. I'm just letting y'all know I took a L. Okay. But am I taking it in stride? Of course. Like, I wasn't nervous at all. I dropped the car off. But it's a lot of receipts and stuff. Like I said, I had to get a receipt from the tow place and to give the insurance. They need the receipt. So I took a well, I what I did was I gave the receipt to the because I told him I might have to if I have to he told me before I left. He said, I don't know what your damage is going to be, but you may have to file a claim. I said, why? For the oil? He said, he didn't tell me. He said, I think I know what's wrong with your car, but I'll call you. He said, but give me the receipt so I can just so I didn't realize he took the receipt because he's going to get that to the adjuster for the tow truck. And then the adjuster said, hey, I mean, not the adjuster, the claims department said, you need a rental car? I said, nope, I don't need no rental car, man. I'm chilling. He said, well, you ain't gonna get your car back to probably like Wednesday of next week. I said, really? He said, yeah, man. He said they did you dirty, man. He said the rodents did you dirty. He said they chewed the regulator that tells the computer how much oil to give to the engine and gas ratio. He said they ruined that. They ruined the wiring harness to your luckily he said, was your lights flickering? I said no. He said they chewed through the wiring to they chewed, the gasket, the it's like a okay, so the regulator that regulates your gas and oil and stuff like that. Well, there's a gasket also that goes to the engine. They ripped through that. The gasket got all these holes in them. He said, "Did you have holes in your gasket?" I said, "No." He said they did it. He said they must have. He said while your car was disabled, the rats came back and did it. He said your stuff is messed up, yo. He said they came back and got you again. So I'm like, damn. You said, damn right. Hey, the rodents, it is what it is, man. They got a hit out on me, but it's all good. But I got them though. I got something for them. So what I'm gonna do is when I get the car back, I'm gonna take it to the wash, and I'm gonna open the hood. I'm gonna spray the hell out of that hood. Okay, I'm gonna spray the hell out of it with the stuff that the rodents don't like. You damn right. I'm gonna spray the whole damn car, man, with repellent. They don't like that. I don't know what I did, man. I don't know if it was the rats or the squirrels. It might have been the squirrels, man, because I remember I was sitting out there. I was like sitting up against the car. All these squirrels came over. I said, I shooted them away. I said, man, get out of here, yo. I ain't got nothing for y'all. They might have put a hit out on me. The squirrels could do it too. I didn't know that. They could do it too. So they put a hit out on me, man. The squirrels did. So what I'm gonna have to do is I might, make amends with them and come bring some nuts or something for them and tell them to keep it pushing, yo. Like here's what y'all need. Leave my car alone, yo. You said how big are the rats around here? I'm in the city. It's city rats. Okay. You got city rats around here that you know what they'll do? I was out here standing one time, right? A rat went right over my sneakers and kept it moving. They not afraid of you over here. It's these city rats, man. You know what I'm saying? I never had this problem down south. Now I'm sitting up here in the city. I was just talking to my ex. I was like, cause she moving. I was like, man, I might have to move down there where y'all at, yo. You know what I mean? Like this is crazy. I ain't never had this problem down south. But you can have a problem down south too. It just I never got hit. You know what I'm saying? You can have a problem anywhere. It's just it is what it is. It's rodents. Rodent. And the thing is, I'm like, nah, man. I'm like, how often y'all get rodent damage? He said we got 5 cars in here right now that's ahead of you. That's waiting for the insurance person to come out. They got rodent damage. I was like, really? He said, yeah. You say you from Kansas? Yeah, I don't know how the rats are out there. Out here we got city rats, man. They nice and healthy out here. But the claims lady said the rats, the reason why they chew like that because their teeth are constantly growing and they need something to chew on, and that's why they chew the wires. So yeah, man, I learned something new today. You don't have that problem here in Kansas. Kansas. I know somebody that's from Salina, Kansas. How far are you from Salina? What's up, Sheila? You said grab plenty of cans. I'm about to. He told me what he gonna tell me what to get. He give me the brand, and he told me he tell the people once you leave the dealership, he tells me that he tell people to go straight to Home Depot. He said, do not go park your car. Go straight to Home Depot. Get and go spray your engine and take care of it. He said if he has some, he'll spray it for me, but he told me to go get it. He'll tell me to go get whatever to get. It's like some mint type of spray. They don't like that. They don't even come near the car because they can smell it. Either they don't even come near. You can't smell it, but they can. So I'm like, all right, cool. He said, you better spray them tires too. He said, because they did. He said they got it out for you. He said next thing they gonna do, they gonna chew your brake lines. He said they got it out for you. He started laughing. I don't know, man. It might be them squirrels I shoot it away. Yeah, they built the nest in my engine because I had just I didn't know what to look for though, because this never happened. I thought it was just debris that caked up in my engine. It was a whole nest, like a bird was up in there. I said, what the hell is this? You see what I'm saying? And I took it out. I went and got some gloves and I took all that stuff out. And then I have like a vacuum and I vacuumed well, no, a blower. I blew the rest out. I didn't know. I thought it was just debris. Do you think the squirrels could have did it too? Peppermint oil. They hate. Yeah, it's peppermint oil. He said, but it's something else. He told me too. You want to get both. And he said also you could spray the perimeter of your car, like in a circle. And he said they not going to be. He said they'll be trained not to go back to your car. He said it can kill them. I said, how about I can lay some poison out for them too? I said I got it out for them now. But see, I don't want to just You said the rabbits. They can mess your car up too, because I think it might have been them squirrels. There's a whole bunch of them out here. Because I'm near the park. I shooted all of them away. I sure did. I shooted all of them away. I'm like, get out of here. They be like, all right. They probably just like, you know what? We gonna get him when he go in the house. He think things sweet around here. You said, why did they go after your car? Because I shooted them away one day, being mean. Because people feed them out here. I said, I ain't got nothing for you, and I ran them off. Like, you know what I'm saying? And then they kind of went off to the distance and just looked at me. It was weird, yo. They was like looking at me. I was like, and then I went and got in my car, and they just probably like, oh, that's his car. Okay, cool. He thinks stuff's sweet around here. So we gonna go make sure he won't drive. And they got the right, they knew which ones, it's like the right wires for your car to go in limp mode. They chewed all of that. They sure did. You said it doesn't pay to be mean. That's right. And yeah, they were plotting, Mel. They was like, all right, cool. You want to sit up here and be like that? All right, cool. All right, wait till you go in the house. You said because the engine keeps them warm after you park it. I park in the garage. Yeah, they probably but they was just chewing. They chewed away. I'm sorry they didn't get fucking electrocuted. And you know what I noticed? I did notice the cover on my battery was ripped up. So they was messing with that too. I'm like, damn, I thought that was just like normal wear and tear. The guy at the dealership said no, that's not wear and tear. He said that Rodents did that. Because he told me, you didn't notice nothing? I said, no, I noticed the battery cover was like chewed. I said, maybe the acid got to it. He said, no, their teeth got to it. He said, they probably trying to chew your battery. You know what I'm saying? He said, you lucky they didn't chew your brake line. You know what I'm saying? So, damn, there's some destructive them dudes, man. They got me, man. They violated me, but it's all good because maybe I violated them. I ain't have to shoot them away because I never had a problem with my car until after I shooted them away. I'm being real with y'all. You know what I'm saying? After I shooted them away, I never did that before. They didn't do nothing to me. They were just real close. I'm like, get away from me. I ain't got nothing for you. And then I just like ran them off. And the next day, thinking everything is sweet, I cut my car and everything was normal. Put it in drive. I hit the gas. I said, damn, I ain't going but 10 miles per hour. I got the damn gas to the floor. And then I parked it back up. That's what happened. No, I don't want to put no rat trap on my engine because I don't want them to get stuck in my engine. I don't want to, you know what I mean? Because what if I forget that it's there? That could cause a lot of damage. He said no, the oil will help. He said the oil will get them away. I just didn't know that, never had that problem before. You know what we do need, speaking of cats, we need a bunch of cats around here. We don't have a lot of cats around here. No stray cats. You ever notice that? You don't see stray cats no more in the city. I wonder why. You see them in the country. Maybe that's why I never had a rodent problem in the country because it was cats everywhere. The cats took care of it. But yeah, man, that I had to tell y'all that. Like, that's crazy. We have a stray dog around. Well, he's not stray. He usually gets out of the house, but his he fixed it so the dog is a husky. He can't get out anymore. But nah, that ain't correcting the problem. It's that spray I'm gonna get. It's gonna be my pleasure to spray my engine. It's gonna be my pleasure. I'm gonna OD on it, spraying that stuff. And then I'm gonna go right in the house satisfied that they ain't gonna be able to get in my engine. And you know what I probably do? I probably bring some food out or something, to make amends and all that. Because man, that's when it happened after I shoot them away. Because I told the guy, he said, well, they probably did it then. But I think it might have been the rats. I don't think squirrels could get up in your engine bay. Can they do that? Can squirrels get in your engine bay? I think they can do it from under the car, somebody told me. They can get in from under the car. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I don't know if it's the squirrels, but it's just mighty funny when I did that to them. The next day, my car ain't working. You know what I'm saying? You say, yeah. I'm hoping he gives a name once I get the spray. When he tell me the name, I'll tell you whatever it is. It's like if you put rodent damage cars in the YouTube, you'll see it. There's a lot of videos on it on rodent damage. You said the squirrels. You said of course they can. So the squirrels did it. That's what happened. They got pissed with me. That's crazy, yo. So what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to go get some nuts and lay some shit out for them so they can chill, yo. So I can like make amends. Because what I did was it was kind of mean of me to do. They weren't really bothering me. They were just by my car, and I ran them off, and they all scattered. But then they kind of like, and off to the distance, they were like looking at me. And then I was like, yeah, so stayed away. You know what I'm saying? I said something, then I got in my car. And the next day, car not working. They got me, yo. They got me. Yeah, they got me, man. What kind of story is this, yo? And let me tell y'all what happened. Y'all ain't gonna believe this. Y'all ain't gonna believe this, yo. So I called my insurance place. They hooked me up, the customer service. I don't know if they from Bangladesh or they from India. I don't know. How can I help you today, sir? I said I need to file a claim. Okay, let me just know your payment is due right now. You have a payment due. I said the payment automatically comes out of my account. I'm not calling for that. Okay? I'm not calling for that. I'm calling to file a claim. Yeah, but let me just tell you, you can save a little money if you pay this today and renew today. I said, sir. I said, listen to me. I want to file a claim. Okay? I just want to file. Okay, but I said, sir, I want to file a claim. You don't. He said, you know what? He said, you know what? You don't have to be rude. Okay? You don't have to be rude. Okay? And I hung up on him, straight up and down. I hung up on him, right? So I'm trying to get. Let me just call somebody else, and boom, and I hung up on him, right? So not only do I have a claim, now I have a chairman complaint I got to file. But let me tell you what happened. So boom. So I'm trying to get on the phone. Then I noticed the 800 number calling me back, And then I hung up again. Then he called back. He said, "You know what, motherfucker?" He called me that. He said, "I'm gonna cancel your fucking insurance for being disrespectful." He said, I said, "What? You canceling my insurance? What are you talking about?" He said, "Since you want to be disrespectful, motherfucker, I'm canceling your insurance." And hung up. He hung up on me. And then he called back. "You don't deserve insurance." Okay? For being, I said, "Listen, sir, listen." He said, "Now you want to call me sir. You want to be respectful now. I'm canceling your fucking insurance, motherfucker." And then he hung up on me. Okay? He hung up on me. So then eventually I called back, right? And I got to the claims department and I'm speaking to somebody that speak English, an American. And so she doing the claim, and so she said, "Sir, your policy is set to be canceled." I said, "No, I didn't want to cancel the guy," and I told her what happened. She couldn't believe it. Guess what happened? She said, "Well, I'm gonna have to look into this." They pulled the call. He did it on a recorded line. And she said, "Oh my God, sir, I'm so sorry. We're not going to cancel your policy." And you know what she told me? She said, "Well, we were going to have to pay the claim anyway because you said you gave us a date, and that was before you wanted to cancel your policy. So we would have to pay the money anyway. But we're gonna save your policy." He canceled my policy. I can't make this shit up, yo. I swear to God, he canceled my policy, yo. He tried to, but the thing is, when you cancel the policy, he needs a verbal. It has to be recorded. He needs a verbal authorization, or I have to write it for my policy to be canceled. So basically now, let me tell you what I'm gonna do. No, let me tell you what I'm gonna do. He did it on the recorded line. I think he OD'd. You know what I'm saying? He blacked out. He might have been having a bad day because they going through some shit over in Bangladesh. Either he's from Bangladesh or India, one of them. But they having hard times over there, so he might have been having a bad day and shit. And I didn't cuss him out, guys. I didn't cuss him out. I said, "Listen," I said, look." I said, "Let me tell you something." I said, "I only want to file a claim. I'm not trying to talk about money right now. The money automatically comes out of my checking account. I'm not trying to talk about money." I said, "Matter of fact, you know what, sir? Let me call somebody else." Guys, I didn't call him out his name. I didn't get this. I had to talk over him because he was talking over me. So I did raise my voice because I had to talk over him. And then I hung up on him and he called me back. He called me twice. And I was like, let me see." And then when I picked up, he called me all types of motherfuckers and said that he gonna cancel my insurance. And I said to myself in that moment, the devil is not going to prevail today because I'm in a good space mentally and I'm calm. So the devil is not going to win. That's the devil. The devil is not going to win today. You feel me? No weapon formed against me shall prosper type of mindset I had today. You know what I'm saying? Now I got to make amends with the squirrels, but that's another thing. You know what? That might have been my karma for me doing that to the squirrels. That might have been my karma. I'm gonna tell y'all something real quick. Animals are more smarter than we are, straight up and down. But for him to black out on me like that, he might have been having a bad day. But he did it on a recorded line, though. He didn't do it from his cell phone. He did it from the 800 number. And it was a record. You know what I told him? I said, "Well, this call being recorded." He said, "This call being recorded too, motherfucker." He said it just like that. And he didn't say motherfucker with an ER. He said with an A. He knew how to say motherfucker right. So I'm like, "Yo, do he live in the States? How did he know how to say that right?" You know what I'm saying? He said, "Yeah, it's a recorded line too, motherfucker." He said it just like that, yo. He cussed me out, yo. I got cussed out. So let me tell you what I'm gonna do. Because I used to work for an insurance company. So I told her, I said he did it on a recorded line, and I gave her the time of the call and the date and the time, right? She said, "Well, I'm gonna have to call you back because I'm having pull the call." Guess what? She called me back apologizing. I said, "Well, I need to file a chairman's complaint." You feel me? I said, "For harassment, I'm afraid for my life now because he got my address." You feel me? So I need to file a chairman's complaint and I need to be made whole. Okay. I need some type of compensation. I need to be made whole, yo. So whatever my deductible is, I'm gonna try to get them to forgive me for my deductible. You feel me? Straight up. I'm trying to get them to pay my deductible, man. I'm not trying to come out of pocket now. And I called the Nissan dealership back. I said, well, the adjuster got to come out. You know what he told me though? He said, okay. He said, yeah, you filed a claim, right? I said, yeah. He said, guess what? We're gonna fix shit that ain't gotta be fixed. He said, we gonna have your joint running the showroom perfect. He said, we're gonna fix he said we gonna say they tore up everything. That's what he gonna say. You know what I'm saying? And all I gotta do is come out with my deductible. No, I'm not playing. I used to work for an insurance company. You see what I'm saying? So I know that you could. Let me tell you all this. If you don't know this, if you have a situation like that and they did on a recorded line, file a chairman's complaint. And when you file a chairman's complaint, you tell them your grievances and how you want this to be resolved. So this shit won't go public. Okay. So you say that, look, I got a high deductible and I got a claim. I want y'all to at least pay for that. You know what I'm saying? You can try to get that or get the deductible knocked down, like that. But you file a chairman's complaint. You go all the way up to the chairman. And guess what? They got the recording of the call, the recording of him cussing me out. I never cussed him out. And I said, why are you calling me? He called me motherfucker. I respected it though, because he said motherfucker with an A. He didn't say with an ER. He said it with an A. So I had to respect it, right? I had to put some respect on this man's name. And so let me see. Let me check my email. Give me 1 second. Just let me know that my claim was filed. It's all good. So they gotta go to the dealership. But they're not gonna get out there today. They get out there Monday, but um they doing a review on that call because he gonna get fired. That's just straight up and down because he threatened me. He also threatened me like motherfucker. You know what I do, motherfucker. Yo, he got street with me. Yo, he might be. I think he's straight from Bangladesh. And the thing is, they got a hood in Bangladesh, so they get down like that out there. So he let me know like, yo, you don't overtalk me, disrespecting me. You entitled fucking American, and they already don't like us right now because of what T doing. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not trying to blame T for this bullshit. I'm not trying to blame him, but if the dude from India, they might be blank. You know what I'm saying? He might be hot over that old titled ass American. Messed up our relations with Iran and all this. We ain't got no damn oil, and he probably mad with me. You know what I'm saying? Over what T did. You know what I'm saying? So hey, it is what it is. But I'm filing a chairman's complaint. I'm gonna let y'all know the status of it. I'm going all the way to the chairman's office because I'm not doing I told her I'm not doing a manager complaint. I'm doing a chairman's complaint. And all you gotta do is go online and get the number to the chairman's complaint line and file it that way and do it in writing and go ahead and email that bad boy off and mail it and then do it verbally over the phone as well. And then that's how you get some type of relief and made whole. You know what I'm saying? I just want to be made whole, because I'm afraid for my life right now. Okay. Now, if they try to sit here and tell me he all the way in Bangladesh, it don't matter. He got people over here. You know what I'm saying? They got my address and this and that. So that's what I'm telling him. I'm like, he got my information. He called me back twice and I didn't pick up. Then I picked up on the third. He was hot, yo. That dude was hot. I don't know what happened. This old lady might be tripping. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I probably shouldn't have talked over him because he was just trying to tell me about if I pay now and renew now. I'm not, you know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, I'm not even going to renew with them. I'm telling you, y'all lost my business. I'm not renewing with y'all, but y'all going to pay this claim first. You know what I'm saying? I'm going back with another insurance. But apparently you need, man, insurance is good to have though. Because I would have had to pay out of pocket a lot of money. A lot of money. And the thing is, like, I get in random conversations with strangers. I don't know what the fuck it is, yo. Like, I was just outside and sitting in the park, you know what I'm saying, licking my wounds, right, from today. Because I had battle scars today, you see what I'm saying? So I had to go out and get some fresh air, lick my wounds real quick. And this lady came by. This might be a sign. She came by and gave me a card. She said, "Jesus love you," and she said, "I need you. I want you to come worship with us on Sunday." And her church is in Montclair. No, Maplewood. Her church is in Maplewood, over there by the high school, over there where Lauren Hill and all them went back in the day. And MKBHD, from YouTube, the tech reviewer, MKBHD, he went there too, Marquez Brownlee. So I said, you know what? I might have to go to church, yo. I might have to go worship on Sunday, yo. I was like, shit, the devil, I got too much light, yo. The devil, like, you know what I'm saying? So I might have to go to church. Like, I might have to come. She said, Jesus love you. Just come as you are. I might have to take, and I'm going to have to take a Uber there. I'm going to have to take an Uber to church, man, and go worship. They might be serving dinner. These are Africans. This the African lady. These the African church. And, they get down up in there. The African, this straight up Soweto church. You see what I'm saying? So I might have to go up in there and worship with my African brethren. They might can put like a root on me or something to take this thing off me, yo. Devil ain't prepared. Devil is not prevailing on me because I'm too calm. I'm in a good space. I'm too calm. But I had to go lick my wounds outside, man. I had to sit out there for a minute. I had to let me get right because I ain't gonna have no car for a few days. So that's what it is, man. I might have to go. Shit, if they serve my ass, if y'all serving, then they might be. They look like they be serving dinner at church. I might have to go worship, man. Might have to. And the dealership, they see great. They see dollar signs now because I'm filing a claim. They say, "Oh, you filing a claim? Oh, we ain't gonna touch the car today. We just gonna wait. We gonna show them. They probably gonna make it worse just so they get more money. That's probably what they gonna do." He said also, I didn't even know this. I found out today I got a recall on my car, on my engine. The fuck? I didn't even know that. He said, "Yeah, you got a recall on it too. Your engine needs to be updated in the computer." That's free of charge, so that ain't under the insurance. That's crazy, man. So I'm just gonna stay put. I'm getting picked up at I'm like later on. But man, that's crazy. My mother got a good laugh out of that because I had the phone on speakerphone. She said, "Who is that cussing at you?" I said, "The customer service dude. He mad at me." He said, "Motherfucker, this motherfucker." It's like, what? What kind of customers? I said, "That's how the world is right now. People are hot out here, and it's not just in the United States. You think we got problems? Imagine Bangladesh, man. You know what I'm saying?" I saw the video of the people on the train on Bangladesh. They surfing on the train. There's a bunch of people on top of the damn train to get where they got to go. Even in the front of the train. Shit real out there, man. They not trying to deal with our bullshit. So I'm not sure if he's from Bangladesh or India. I think he might be from India. I'm not sure, but he had that accent though. He probably a YN. You know what I'm saying? The YN Indian. Yeah, he straight up raised up on me, man. You said they didn't give you a rental. I didn't want one. I told them I'll see Monday because they told me that we'll get you a rental. That's on your insurance. We get you a rental, and it's up to like $900. The limit is 900. So I probably get a rental Monday. I just didn't feel like dealing with it today. My friend picking me up at 6. I'm gonna chill with them and her family and tell them the story. They can't, and I got it. I got the recording of the call. You know what I'm saying? Because on the iPhone you can record the calls now. So it's crazy, man. He was kind of slick though, because I'm sitting up there trying to record a call. He did it real quick, motherfucker. I'm gonna cancel your policy. You don't. He said you don't deserve a policy with us. That's what he said, and I didn't even cuss at him. I didn't even. He just said I was being disrespectful because I'm trying to get him to listen to me first because I'm the customer. I'm trying to file a claim. I don't want to talk about money right now. The money automatically comes out. Yeah, but I could save you some. I said, I don't want to hear it, bro. I said, I want to do the claim. I said, matter of fact, let me go speak to somebody else and click. I clicked it. You know what I'm saying? This is a cell phone. You can't click like back in the day, you could just slam the phone on somebody's ear. I can't do that no more. I just mid sentence while he was talking, I just ended the call. And he kept calling back. I should not have picked up the phone. But I picked it. I was like, hello? He said, yeah, motherfucker, you want to be disrespectful. I'm like, what the fuck? That's crazy, man. That's crazy. But I guess I'll get a rental Monday. I'm not on deal with it today. I deal with it Monday. I deal with the rental Monday. They probably gonna give me like some I don't know. I don't know what they gonna give me. Set me up somewhere. What else is going on? Damn, what happened else? Something happened in the news. Oh, did y'all hear what happened in New York? This dude went around and cut like 9 people. He stabbed 9 people at random. It's craziness. It was ambulance everywhere. The dude just went crazy and just started like cutting people, stabbing and cutting people. I think it was like 9 or 10, 12 people. Something like that. It's crazy out here, man. It's like gotta be careful. Yeah, man. Between that, the rodents, the dude breaking fly on me, man. I had to go lick my wounds, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. I had battle scars today. How's everybody doing? Y'all good? Everybody good? And I didn't want to deal with it today. I'm gonna call back Monday, get a rental, or maybe. I think I'm gonna need one because I can't. The things I still got to take care of business. So yeah, I'm gonna need a rental. So I was hot too, guys, because when I couldn't draw the car, I got a request come in, a damn catering order for $180. You know how hot I was? You know what I felt like doing? Taking a cab, Uber to go get the damn order. That's what I felt like doing. But that would have cost me. That wouldn't have been cost effective. Yeah, I made it through the day and good in the hood. That's it. I made it through. I had to shield off the devil. That's basically what I had to do today. I had to shield them off. Um, what I want to say, talk about? I might have to come back and do another live. Something going on. Yeah, the stabbing situation. There's a situation going on here in New Jersey where I'm at. I don't know if y'all heard about it. The ICE, the ICE detention center, they had protests going on down there. And then the ICE people, they maced everybody last night and beat this dude up. It's this dude out there that be recording everything, but he be all in their face though. I wanted to go out there too, but I ain't gonna be all in their face. You know what I mean? I had planned on going through there, but that'll be my luck, right? To go out there and get beat up. At that point, guys, you know what I would tell y'all? I think I'm staying in the house for about 3 days. I ain't going outside. But yeah, they beat the brother up, man. But see, he's all like the ICE people. They're out there guarding the detention center because they have a Yeah, you heard about it. So they have a hunger strike going on. So they got people out there protesting and everything. But what happened was they had an incident yesterday and one of the main guys that I follow, they beat him up. They maced him, beat him up. They shot him with a rubber bullet, and they dragged him into the detention center for like an hour and beat him up some more, and then they let him go. So he went to the hospital, and he said his attorney tell him he can't talk anymore because now he got a lawsuit. He got a lawsuit now because they beat him up. They sure did. They dragged him and everything. You said, do T have? Hold on a second. You said, do T have some MMA? He got some type of MMA something set up at the White House. I forgot about that. Yeah, and he inviting a few people. He inviting some YouTubers too. I think he invited academics. Of all people, guys, he cool with academics. So what type of mess is this? How the hell he get cool with academics? But he inviting some YouTubers and vloggers to the White House. He having something up there. Yeah, some type of MMA event or something he doing. You know, in that little area that he's constructing. I think they still I think it's still under construction, but he still want to have something there anyway. I, so yeah, he having an event. You know, he cool with John Jones and them. So he might have set it up with John Jones or something. Like, they boys and all that. So I don't know. Yeah, that's kind of unusual, right? He's setting up some type of MMA event. You know what I want to ask him? What's up with the straight, man? Like, what's up with these gas prices, man? Can you help us out? The gas prices, it's a little more complicated. It's very unusual. It is. Yeah, he having some MMA event at the White House. He's a huge boxing. He's a huge boxing fan and fighting fan. Period. So he would have some shit like that at the White House with that in that ballroom they built. It. I think it's still under construction because when he was talking to the press, I see the crane still out there. So maybe it's built up to the point where he can have a gathering or something. I don't know. But yeah, they having some type of MMA situation. That's a little unusual though. Is that the White House? The fuck? He don't care. He just turned 80. You know what I'm saying? Let me tell you this. If I get blessed enough to live to 80, I ain't gonna care either, yo. I'll do what I want to do. You know what I'm saying? 80, you live to 80, fuck it. I'm doing what I want to do, yo. Who cares? You know what I'm saying? 80. Straight up. But it's unusual. It's unusual to have it at the White House. Very unusual. But anything goes with him, man. That's the only thing I could say at this point. Gas is at 440 something here. That gas need to come down. But yeah, the gas need to come down. I think I might come back because I think it's something I wanted to talk about. I want to get on my computer and talk about it. Groceries is at an all-time high. Gas. I mean, just living, period. Insurance is at an all-time high. But you need it though. Obviously, I need it today. But it's like. Um They building these new developments here in the hood, wanting to charge 25 to 3,000 a month, 2,500, 3,000 a month. Some are 4,000 right in the hood. Okay. He said they groomed us to accept it. I'm not accepting it. It's just that what can we do though? We can't do nothing to change it right now. I mean, if we all come together and maybe protest like boycotting brands, I'll be down to do that. But we all need to do it. It needs. Okay, look. I already got a number. So let's look at the total populace of the United States. All right, we just need 25% to boycott, and that'll be effective. So we can get at least 25% of the populace to start boycotting certain brands. I'll be okay with it. Boycotting actually works. That's what happened back during the Montgomery bus boycotts. That actually was effective back then because they all collectively got together and started boycotting the bus and transit system, right? And they started carpooling and different things like that. And guess what? The bottom line of the transit system went down. They said, look, let these people ride in the front of the bus if they want to. And that was over with. A lot of people say the Rosa Parks situation kicked off the civil rights movement. I would like to say no. What kicked it off for me was Emmett Till. Emmett Till was what kicked that off. That's when it was like, oh my God, it's like at the point of no return at this point. The Emmett Till case. Just historically speaking, for me, I know some other scholars seem to think so as well. But it just depends. If you say it's the Rosa Parks situation, I can't argue with you, right? But some people see, here's the thing. Let me just say this. For the boycotting situation and civil rights, there was a lot of people marching together, a lot of from different nationalities that was boycotting at the same time, and they all collectively came together for that Montgomery bus boycott situation. It was very effective. So that's why I say we don't need the entire voting populace to come together. We don't. We just need a certain percentage to come together to boycott for it to be effective. Or here's another solution. We could collectively, 25% of us come together and pool our money together and start a lobbying group and have somebody speak for us in Washington with our money. That works. Lobbying works. Look at the AARP and look at the National Rifle Association. Those are the two biggest lobbying groups in Washington, D.C. The AARP and the NRA, National Rifle Association. Two biggest. They get stuff done. Why? Because of their money power. And their lobbyists, the person that they pay to go lobby for them in DC, they get stuff done. That's the only way we'll get stuff done here, either through our spending power or lobbying power. That's just how this system is set up. Now, what needs to happen for that, for us to come together like that? I don't know. I don't know. I like how in it says, we the people, the Constitution. Well, it will be for we the people and by the people and only for the people if we came together. We don't have to like each other, but we have to come together for a common purpose. That's it. It doesn't have to be we're living through rose colored glasses and everybody getting along. It doesn't have to be that way. We just have to come together for business. That's it. And you just tally up the voting. Don't tally up the whole population of the United States because some are kids. Let's tally up the voting population. And out of that voting population, I don't care what demographic you come from, because everybody is being affected by the gas prices, the high taxes. I didn't even mention taxes. The taxes are at an all-time high. This is affecting everybody across every demographic. So every demographic have to come together for one common purpose, like the Jews do. One thing the Jewish community do is they come together. They don't have to like each other because they have problems within their own community, just like everybody else, right? They do. But their money, they come together when need to be. They don't play around either. And also their money is funneled within their community 4 or 5 times over. It used to be like that for us too, but during Tulsa, Tulsa, we always talk about Tulsa as like Black Wall Street. Black Wall Street was all over the country. It's as a matter of fact, I'm not too far from Montclair, New Jersey. Montclair, New Jersey used to be a Black Wall Street. They used to have doctors, I mean, all types of dentists, foot doctors, you name it. And the money used to circulate within the community. All of that stuff was brought to an end. It was all brought to an end. They bombed Tulsa. Tulsa was so popular it's just because everybody know Tulsa, as far as they related to Black Wall Street. But we had it all over the country. People, within the community had your own. You had a community doctor that everybody went to. You had your community grocery store that everybody went to. You had your community mechanic. So on and so forth. So the money circulated within the community, and also we used the barter system. We did that during the Great Depression. We had the barter system going on. Okay, you got bread over here. We got this. Like, let's. Okay, you have young sons in your house. We need labor on the farms, and then from there we give you fruit and vegetables to take home. So we did that. That's how we were able to survive. And another thing that we did, we saved Cadillac. Y'all can go Google it right now if you don't believe me. You're gonna sit here and laugh. Did you know we saved Cadillac? We sure did. During the Great Depression, um, a lot of people lost their money because the banks crashed, right? But guess what happened in our community? We kept our money under the bed. We didn't put our money in banks because a lot of this stuff was segregated. So we had our money under the mattress. So we were able to buy certain things still. And guess what Cadillac did? Shit, them people got money. Let's shop with them since they got money. And that's what saved Cadillac. A lot of people don't know that we saved Cadillac. We sure did during the Great Depression. The Great Depression, I study that stuff because, history tends to repeat itself. And, there's certain part of history that I don't know. I don't know all of part of history. But you said we would, let me see what Shannon's saying. We would have to stop paying all the banks, the mortgages, right? But see, here's the thing, Shannon. We would have to come together somehow. We would have to organize, and it has to be a certain amount of us through all demographics. It don't matter what demographic we come from. We have to have at least a certain number of people that's willing to do what you say. If that's the case, guess what, Shannon? If you become the leader, we all do what you say, and we all come together. It'll work. It'll be effective. You right on that. So, I went back to I like studying different parts of history in with certain books. They're not lying when they say everything is written in a book. They're not lying. It is. But we just have to go find it. So I like to do it on my spare time. I don't know why I am fixated on the Great Migration, the Roaring Twenties. What else am I fixated on? I'm fixated on the Roaring Twenties because a lot of my family moved from the South up to the North, right? So I'm focused on the Roaring Twenties, the Great Migration, and the Harlem Renaissance. I'm focused on them periods for a reason because you know why? History is repeating itself again because there's another migration of people moving north to south again. It's happening now. It's been going on even before 2020, but it's starting to increase even after 2020. I think last year alone, don't quote me, but I think it was over 300,000 people left the state of New York. Okay. They went elsewhere. 300 and some thousand people. And I think it was about that amount in California alone that migrated somewhere else. And you like, why is that the case? Well, dollars make sense, right? It makes sense for people to go elsewhere. Taxes at all time high. Um, different things like that. So it's almost like it's a reverse going on again. And it's happening. It's a reverse, but I don't know if people will fully come together. I don't know if it's designed for it to ever happen. I honestly think I don't know if it's designed. It has to take some type of catastrophic event. You know, the last time I saw people really coming together was during 9/11. This is before I moved south. I moved south in 2002. 9/11 was in what, 2001? So I was still here then. I noticed how people on the street in New York was like hugging each other, and Rudy Giuliani was like at the forefront of that, right? A lot of people gave Rudy Giuliani his props for how he handled himself during 9/11 and helping people out, all people in the city. That's the last time I saw that happen, where people really was helping each other. But we're very resourceful people, like just Americans in general. Because you got to think about America I mean, the United States, for example. We survived a lot of things. We survived the Great Depression. We survived the bubonic plague. We survived the COVID. We survived the crises of 2008. You know, when Obama got elected, Obama inherited a problem. You remember when it crashed in 2008? We survived that. Um, we're very resourceful people. At the end of the day, we'll find a way to survive. But we're going through something unique right now in a part of history. Like I said, it's like a reverse going on from the Great Migration. When you look at where the populace is moving throughout the country, there's an interactive map you could see where you could see the movement around the country. Look at California. Look at the state of New York. Let me see, California, the state of New York, and you see where the people are migrating to. Some people from California are moving to Texas. Um, that's like a trend going on. Some people from the tri-state are moving south to the southern states like Virginia, North Carolina, so on and so forth. It's like it's that migration going on again. And New York City is going through something right now. As far as we have the new mayor Mandani. A lot of people are not too certain about him. So it's a lot of stuff going on in history at this moment. And then some things international that's going on with Iran, and that's notable in history too, because the last time we had a huge conflict with them was in the 70s. They outed the Shah, and the Shah went into exile. Well, we're having a major, it was inevitable that was going to happen anyway, eventually, but it's happening right now. And we're all like kind of consuming it on social media. Like the media is constantly in our face. And so that's what's happening. And it's a lot going on. People are noticing the gas. Not only that, the grocery bill is high, the taxes are high. So it's a lot going on right now at one time. It's a cycle, like you like history. One thing about history is like, damn, I learn something new all the time. I'm like, damn, I thought I knew that. But one of my favorite courses in college was US history. I took, and not only I only need to take one class, but I took two because I enjoyed it so much. I took US history 1 and 2. Not It's like a high school level, um, like US history. It's like you learn in high school, but guess what? We learned some shit I ain't learned in high school. She was like, really, man, this lady, we studied obviously the migration, the roaring 20s and stuff like that. It broke it up into parts. Like the first course was like handled the antebellum period, and then when I took her again, we covered the New Deal and stuff like that, and the migration and stuff like that. So there's a lot of stuff I learned, and she was like, "History is going to repeat itself again at some point," and she was absolutely correct. She was absolutely correct on that. We covered a lot of the Great Depression. It's crazy, man. Just imagine we're not that many generations removed from the Great Depression. Some of us are only 4 generations, 3 generations removed. Um, what your people had to go through, being on the bread lines, and then also the world wars. A lot of the women in the household, they had to take over. They also had to work in the factories because a lot of the factories turned into factories to support the war effort. And a lot of the ladies held us down. They held the country down, man. If it wasn't for the women in this country at the time, the country wouldn't have survived. But they held it down. They took the jobs of their husbands and held it down. And that's to be commendable because that was a really turning point in history, those world wars. A bomb was dropped, Hiroshima and Nagasaki. There was a lot going on. Um, Roosevelt wife, what was it, Eleanor? She did a lot. And some people argue in history that she was like the co-president because he was sick, and she had to sign a lot of things and forge his signature. She called a lot of shots. Shout out to Eleanor, man. Eleanor Roosevelt. She did something. So the black farmers, they didn't get what was promised to them, because he had signed this executive order to help out all farmers, not just, you know, black farmers, but all farmers. They didn't get their just due. And she found out about it and told her husband and made sure they got their just due. She did that. Eleanor. Shout out to Eleanor, man. Now, what is this you type in? University of North Carolina. Yeah, so let me see, what is this? Um, Wait a minute, hold on a second. Let me hold on, let me just do this. All right, I'll be right back. All right, I just read that. Hold on, let me delete this person. I just saw that. I had to scrap, I couldn't see it. Let me hide him from the channel. Oh Lord. He said he hate, ooh Lord. We had to get him out of here. Well, you don't need to be in here, sir. Lord having people just whoo. Devil something else. Devil busy, isn't he? Did you read that? The devil busy. I had to read it. I said, let me see what this say. I had to, man, boy, the devil's something else. He just had to come up in here real quick, and he wrote it in such a way. I'm like, let me screenshot this and read what this is saying. Mm, it's crazy right there. He just had to say that real quick. He feel, hope he feel better. He got it off his chest. Sometimes you gotta get stuff off your chest, but you ain't staying up in here. It's crazy. Well, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna sign off here. I'm gonna come back with another topic. I'll be back, guys. I'm gonna get something to eat and come back. But guys, thank you for the conversation. I will talk to you.